Спасибо большое.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Defense Minister, thank you very much. Members on the panel, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a particularly great pleasure for me to participate, and for the first time, in such a significant conference on combating international terrorism. The previous speakers all dwelled very well on the extent of terrorism and the causes of it internationally. Since you've heard about that, I would like to concentrate on the Afghan story and the Afghan experience, and then tell you from that perspective as to how best we can confront this menace. In Afghanistan, during the height of the Cold War, when the former Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, the Afghan people began a struggle for liberation. Millions of us became refugees in Pakistan and Iran and the rest of the world, and our struggle for liberation began. This struggle for liberation received assistance from outside, from the United States, from Pakistan, from other countries. Now, as we were trying to liberate ourselves, the tussle between NATO and Warsaw was at its height, the Warsaw Pact. The United States and its allies wanted to weaken the Soviet Union, cause it damage. We wanted to free ourselves. Our struggle for freedom was used to cause this damage. Therefore, our national liberation was by the immense arrival of resources from our neighbor in Pakistan, in the name of help to the jihad of ours, and the United States and its allies turned into a campaign of radicalization, of religious radicalization, that would fight the Soviet Union to the last Afghan. The term used those days in Western media was that we are willing to fight the Soviets to the last Afghan. When the Soviet Union left Afghanistan, Afghanistan became an open field for further intervention from our other neighbors. Extremism and terrorism was one of the most important tools of undermining Afghan society and bringing control to Afghanistan, with immensely unfortunate consequences for the Afghan people and the region, with millions dead, with homes destroyed, with the state structure gone. While all that was going on, we, the Afghan people, began to tell the world of the atrocity and of the pain that the Afghan people were suffering at the hands of extremists and terrorists for having turned Afghanistan into the ground where they should be raised and trained. Until September 11, we were ignored and attention denied. After September 11, with the arrival of the United States and its allies, Afghanistan began to reshape. We were no doubt liberated with the help of the United States and its allies from a keeping invasion from our neighborhood and the control of extremists on Afghanistan. Our schools reopened, our economy re-emerged, our life began to flourish again. And for a number of years, 2 or 3 years, this worked very, very well. But then, towards 2004 and 2005, we began to see the re-emergence of sanctuaries in our neighborhood, the re-emergence of ideological motivations to terrorists, the re-emergence of financial systems to them, and the arrival of terrorists and extremists back into Afghanistan of all kinds. Today, 15 years on, not only that Afghanistan is not secure, not only that Afghanistan continues to suffer, but so is Pakistan suffering, as the Defense Minister, His Excellency, referred to, of Pakistan. The consequences of bad policy. The question we should ask today is, why has the international community, why specifically the United States and its allies in Afghanistan, have not been able, with tremendous support from the Afghan people, to crush terrorism and to end radicalization of that region? The only answer to that probably is because either the strategy combating terrorism was not right, or the methods applied were not correct, or that where attention should have been paid to the sanctuaries, to the training grounds, to the motivational factors, to the financial resources was not done. Either they failed to pay attention at the right time to the right issues, or from the very beginning, the intention wasn't there to pay the right attention to the sources and sanctuaries and motivational factors. The consequence of that today is not only Afghanistan and Pakistan suffering, but we see it in China, we saw the events in Russia and the downing of the Russian plane, and the Middle East, and now Europe too. From my experience as the President of Afghanistan for 14 years and the subsequent events, there is only one way for a real effective campaign against terrorism and extremism. That is a sincere cooperation between the United States and its allies with Russia, China, and India, and other relevant powers internationally. A sincere attention to where radicalization is emerging and whether radicalization is used as a tool by certain state structures. Specific to Afghanistan, ladies and gentlemen, and our region, 15 years on, as we see the trouble continuing, unabated and increasing, again, the United States and its allies will not achieve its objective under the current circumstances without seeking the help of Russia, without seeking the help of China, and without seeking the help of India and Iran. And we like Pakistan too to join in sincerity in this campaign. Then we will see without a doubt that Afghanistan will be secure, that Pakistan will be secure, and that the region and as a consequence, the larger international community will be secure. Since Afghanistan and Russia are neighbors and close historic allies and have old relationship, we have also recognized that a stronger, more assertive Russia is a guarantor of stability and safety in Afghanistan. Therefore, we hope that for us and for Russia and for this greater region, a new regional security arrangement will emerge, a new regional security architecture, helped by the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, helped also by ways that SAARC in South Asia can help in provision of resources and advice. Also, more specifically for Afghanistan, after the experiences that we have, Russia's political economic engagement with Afghanistan on a strategic level, in our view, is going to be a provider of stability and security for Afghanistan and for the region. So today, my call for action specific and in 3 areas. 1, we will not succeed unless there is clear, visible, sincere cooperation between the United States, Russia, China, and India, in our region and internationally. In other words, that I hope now that we know we have not succeeded, that the United States and its allies will seek help from Russia and the other 2 major countries in this region. 2, that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization can play an important role in being a factor of stability and a factor of support to Afghanistan and this region. 3, that Russia and Afghanistan must engage more closely with one another politically, economically, and as strategic partners of all time to make sure that Afghanistan is secure and that the menace of extremism and terrorism is addressed effectively and with a lasting impact. Thank you very much.